Hey guys, I just wanted to update everybody and say a huge thank you again to all the people that have really supported me through this whole thing. So yeah, an update and just kind of maybe give everyone a little idea of what all happened with COVID and kind of my experience. So everything started about August 20th. Started with a really light cough that I thought was more allergy-like. I had sinus drainage, and it's that time of year, and excuse me. So that was a Thursday, and then Friday, I felt really lightheaded. But again, I thought it was all kind of due to allergies. The cough was persistent. Seemed maybe a little better, but not really. But I was able to make it through my day and still have a decent day. And then Saturday, I woke up with a fever of 101. Or was it 100, something like that. So then that Sunday, the fever continued Saturday and Sunday, so I decided to go get tested for free at a local hospital. It was a drive up, and they did the nose swab. The hospital does the deeper nose swab, so it really goes up there. It wasn't fun. So I did that, and then Monday I got the test back, and it was positive. So I told my boyfriend, Ryder, that he needs to go get tested as well. So he did as well. He did go to work on Sunday, but he was able to get tested on Monday, and he then was quarantined with me. So, I got the positive results on Monday, and I think he got his on Wednesday. So the first week was really mild. It was a fever, 100 to maybe 101. I slept a lot. I coughed a lot. Really just trying to get through it. It felt more like a flu than anything. The fever persisted. Then the second week, I started to really question when it was going to be over. Would it end? It felt like it was never going to end, and it felt like I was going through this forever at that point. I called doctors. I called the hospital. I called nurses, and everyone was kind of giving me different answers, but generally the same thing, like, can you breathe? Yeah, I can breathe. I'm talking to you. Sitting up, I'm breathing, but I feel very fatigued. Fatigued so much, like, I can't get up and move like I need to. I just felt miserable. And kind of a list of my symptoms at that point was fever, continued both weeks, never went below 100, got as high as 102.5, I think it was. Fever, cough, diarrhea, loss of appetite. I didn't eat for full 2 weeks. So I lost a good 20 pounds in 2 weeks. Hypersensitivity to smell and sound, and I became delusional at that point. Just really weird stuff. Ryder made a bowl of ramen noodle, and I was going to vomit. It smelled so ungodly insane of ramen noodles in this house, like ridiculous. And I said, you've got to take that outside. There's no way I can handle that being in here. It was awful. So yeah, those were the main ones. The delusions were terrible. I don't know if it was due to the fever or COVID at that point, but one day I couldn't sleep. It was miserable. My body said I needed to sleep, so I would start to sleep, and my brain would wake me up and say that you're going to die, so you need to be awake. It was the worst. So yeah, I did all of that. But yeah, the doctors were all saying, if you can breathe, then you just need to get through it. It's going to could be the whole 14 days to really get past these symptoms. And it just wasn't going away and wasn't going away. My boyfriend finally said, it's time you go in. You're not getting better. Sorry. You're not getting better, and it's just time. So he called the hospital, and it took every ounce of energy I had to get down the stairs and into the car. Again, I was thinking it was just extreme fatigue that, it made it so difficult, but it was really just, I couldn't breathe. Sorry. I don't know why I get so weepy during this. But yeah, so thankfully he did make that decision for me. He called the hospital, told them we were coming in, and the nurse came out once we finally got there, and she took one look at me and said, "We're gonna need to get a wheelchair to get you in." Yeah. I said, yeah, I think so. So they took me in immediately and got me on IVs right away. Did x-rays, did just a barrage of blood work. It was a lot. I was there for about 4 hours, which cost me, the bill was $5,355.22. Because I don't have insurance, they only charged me $2,100, which is very nice. But they have made the decision not to allow COVID patients staying there for any duration. They transfer them to either Madison, to the UW, or to Meriter. So I was taken by ambulance to Unity Point, Meriter, which is a very nice facility, by the way. The first day, I was in general care in the COVID unit, which was good. I mean, the care there, the staff is really, really amazing. The nurses, are wonderful and very dedicated. They moved me to the ICU pretty quickly. I think it was within the first or second day, I think. And I stayed in the ICU for the rest of the time. The last day, I think I was moved back to general care. But they had told me, that I developed a heart murmur due to all the medication that I was on, and that I had this pneumonia, severe sepsis. There's a couple other things that they had told me, all due to the COVID. And so, I was on treatments every day. they were trying to find plasma, because apparently plasma helps you get past the symptoms quicker. But because I am AB negative blood, it was near impossible to find that in a good amount of time to be able to do that. At one point, you know, the treatments just have to continue, so they decided to continue those treatments versus wait for plasma. So yeah, that was the main part of my stay at the ICU. It's very isolating. My boyfriend bought me flowers, and I couldn't have flowers in the room. Everyone comes in full PPE gear, face shields, masks. Their scrubs are covered in another gown. They hardly want to touch you. Some of the nurses ask you to put your mask on. And the whole time I'm on oxygen, mostly the nose piece, but other times I was in the full mask because I couldn't breathe. My oxygen at points was as low as 58. At best it was at 90 at rest. You can tell that by an oximeter, I believe they're called. You just put your finger in there and it'll tell you what your blood oxygen is reading. So you really want to be above 90. Most of the first part of my stay, I was far below that, like 70s if I was up at all. Like I said, at rest it was 85, 90, 95. And with the oxygen I did better, so that was good. You read your oxygen, there's I think it's pounds per unit, I'm not really sure, but generally, like now I'm at 3 to 0.5, 0.5 being the lowest, which is really good. But in the hospital I was high as like a 12 and went down to an 8 pretty promptly. And I stayed at 8 for quite some time, and then they were able to decrease me after that. Let's see, what else can I tell you? Oh, the discharges were pretty quick. It was really just sleep, rest, and drink lots of water. There's no exercises, no therapy, which is very concerning. And I was told to quarantine for another week. So I was able to go home after a week in the hospital. First time I was able to see Ryder, which was great. And then, I get home and my puppy dog is so excited to see me. He comes and greets me at the bottom of our stairs. It was very exciting to see him. And my boyfriend, of course. So I get home and I have an oxygen supplier that dropped off oxygen concentrator unit. It looks like a small suitcase, like a carry-on suitcase, and I have about 20 feet of cord, and it plugs into the wall, so I'm always tethered. I can go from room to room, but just kind of barely, so it's taking some getting used to. And then I have traveling tanks. I was given one to go home with from the hospital, and then they brought a secondary one with my oxygen concentrator. The total for that was $137, which, it's all out of pocket because I don't have insurance. The nice thing though is I did need refills, or I will need refills for those traveling tanks, and the oxygen place is doing those for free, which is really nice because of COVID, so that I can appreciate. Really at home, I just sleep, eat, and repeat. The depression is kind of bad. Isolation, it sucks. But I am now able to go out, which is really nice. Not for long, maybe a couple of hours at best. Everything really, really exhausts me, so it's hard to do anything. So, still coughing a lot, obviously. Hospital instructions required that I follow up with a doctor. My primary doctor will not see me because I don't have insurance. Fun. So, I'm sorry, it's hard to think sometimes. The free clinic in the area, there's several. There's one in Fort, Jefferson, Watertown, and Whitewater. Called Whitewater. They didn't have a doctor on this past week, so they referred me to Watertown. Watertown, I tried to make an appointment on Monday when I got back. I was discharged on a Friday and called on Monday. They said they would call me back. Never got a call back. Called again Tuesday, never got a call back. Called Wednesday, never got a call back. So I called the Jefferson Clinic, left a message, never got a call back. Called the Fort Clinic, never got a call back. I called every day that week to get a call, to get an appointment with the Watertown Free Clinic. I finally got a call at, I think it was 4:45 on Friday, and got an appointment for Monday at the Fort Hospital to get recheck x-rays and recheck blood work. On Friday, or I'm sorry, not on Friday, on Tuesday, I then had an appointment with the free clinic with the doctor. That kind of entailed just talking to the doctor. I've been in a hurry to get back to work, which no one wanted to hear, not the doctor, not the nurse. They really just wanted me to continue to rest and try and do better, as my breathing is still pretty poor. They they were hesitant to say that my x-rays were improved, that it's possible there's some scar tissue in there. It's hard to say what kind of damage is really done, but on a positive note, my potassium levels and my kidney levels are back to normal, so that's good. They just really told me to take it easy and to, again, sleep, rest, and drink lots of water. It's not really what you want to hear. You want to hear, you can be off oxygen at, this date, or it should start getting better at this date, or you can go back to work at this date. But they can't tell you that. So, the best I got was you can go back to work for half a day next week, and you can try and see, where you're at from there, and try to increase it slowly week by week. So I guess, overall it was positive, but wanting to hear something and hearing something different are very different. But again, I was on a traveling oxygen tank, and that was starting to get low, so the doctor wanted to make sure that I got home with oxygen, so she kind of rushed me out of the building, and said she'll give me a call tomorrow with some answers to questions that I had, and I still have yet to hear from her. So that's fun. The free clinic is very overwhelmed with patients right now, understandably so. So I'm trying to be as patient as possible. But right now I'm currently working on getting health insurance. My representative from from the health department has been amazing. Her name is Margot. She's been just 100% helpful in every single way possible. A great advocate to have. And she said at one point I'm her unhealthiest patient, worst case she's had. So that was fun. But, you know, overall, I am on the up and up. It's just going to take a lot of time to get back to being me and being able to do the things that I want to do. So, stop crying at you. So sorry I kept crying at you. But again, thank you so much for all of your love and support. Really means